For regular viewers, I did say I didn't think you'd ever guess what mystery guitar I had in order that I mentioned in previous videos. Was I right? Well, this is one brand I certainly did not expect to be carrying into the studio, but all will be revealed. Hello viewer, my name's Stu. Please do check out the rest of my channel as it covers my return back to playing and recording guitar after a 40-year break. And as always, many thanks to all who take the time to subscribe, comment and get in touch. Always appreciated. Your support helps this channel. So, coming up, number 1, the surprise guitar and its specifications. Number 2, what does it sound like? Number 3, points of interest and really what made me order an Ibanez. And number 4, my likes and dislikes. And number 5, conclusion, final remarks. So without further ado, number 1, the doorbell rang. And I took delivery of yet another cardboard box. In fact, this one was actually double boxed. And possibly because inside, no fancy hard shell case this time round, but a black padded gig bag. And inside that, here we have the latest 2024 model of an Ibanez S series premium guitar in what they call charcoal black burst with the identification number S1070PBZ. And along with everyone else, I never really quite understand the Ibanez marketing strategy behind their confusing guitar naming protocol. Anyway, first thing you notice, it has this super thin body, which apparently the S in the model range stands for sabre. So, in other words, nice, sleek and thin. But however, don't be fooled. There's quite a bit of weight to this guitar. So, quite a few materials used in this guitar's construction, some of which sound pretty exotic. In regard to the body, we have the Poplar Burl, we have Walnut, Curly Maple, Panga-Panga, don't you love that one, and African Mahogany. And I have to say, it looks very nice in photographs, but close up in real life, it really does look quite striking. The body is comfortable and it has this comfort cut in the back body. The guitar neck is a bolt-on type and is listed as an 11-piece wizard neck made of, there's this word again, Panga-Panga, maple, walnut and Bubinga. Some crazy names there. The fretboard is rosewood with mother of pearl offset dot inlays and it has a fretboard radius of around 15 3/4 inches. So from a Fender guy perspective, pretty flat. The jumbo frets are made of stainless steel and have the premium fret edge treatment, and there are 24 of them over a 25.5 scale length. The neck is 43mm at the nut, and you can see the locking saddles here. You do get a multi-tool with the guitar to enable adjustment of all the different fittings on the guitar. In regard to the neck, I'll comment on the feel shortly. The tuners are Gotoh MG-T locking machine heads. Returning to the body, we have an Edge 02 tremolo bridge with an adjustable tremolo arm, and looking at the back of the guitar you can see the tremolo adjustment setup. Regarding the pickups, we have at the neck a DiMarzio Air Norton, the middle pickup is a DiMarzio True Velvet, and at the bridge there is a DiMarzio Tone Zone. These are all passive alnico pickups. There's a 5-way toggle control, which due to the thin nature of the body does protrude somewhat. Some folks don't like that. Not an issue for me personally. This selects either the whole pickup, neck, middle or bridge, or part combinations to give a wide variety of tones. Quite a simple setup with an overall volume and tone control and a jack socket on the surface of the body. The guitar ships with a black gig bag, and as you can see here, it is somewhat quite flimsy given the cost of the guitar. It's certainly adequate. The usual straps and pockets, but I have to say it could have done with better padding. Certainly the guitar arrived without any damage, so that was good. A hardshell case is available for this model, and the reference for that is M300C, and I'm actually just awaiting delivery of one of those cases, as I got a good deal on that. So number 2, how does it sound? Well, I'm going to be playing through this Black Cat amplifier, which I reviewed recently. Do have a look at that if that interests you. And I'm going to set the amp for a clean tone and just a little bit of reverb to hear how this sounds from a clean tone perspective. And this time I'm setting the amp for an overdriven valve breakup tone, and again a little bit of reverb. And now I'll move to a distortion channel setting. So just a short demo there to show the guitar can handle clean tones, although not a guitar that I'd personally use for that. That would generally be covered by my Telecaster. The overdrive tones are of course what these type of guitars are probably best known for, and you can of course pile on the overdrive according to what you need. So number 3, things I'd personally mention that might be of interest. So okay, for those who've been watching my channel and my guitar journey, you might be thinking, what on earth are you doing buying an Ibanez guitar? Well, as I progressed in my guitar journey, putting aside the hobby and the fun aspect of just coming back to playing guitar and trying out different guitars from my younger days, as a songwriter, I have a focus, and so part of that journey has been working out what instruments, what hardware, what software I would need to achieve my music arrangements. Now, in particular, compositions that are cinematic and thematic. I wanted a guitar that would lend itself towards a modern, overdriven sound and ease of playing. And yes, you can achieve that to some degree with the guitars that I've already reviewed over previous months. However, Ibanez guitars do that job with ease, and especially with these DiMarzio pickups. But why Ibanez and not some other manufacturer? Because there are many to choose from in regard to these types of instruments. Simply, I've owned Ibanez guitars in the distant past. I'm familiar with their quality and feel, and the S series guitars, they did catch my interest some years ago, but it was only when I saw a review of this latest 2024 model that I thought, you know what, I've really got to try one of these out. So number 4, my likes and dislikes. What do I like about this Ibanez S series premium guitar? The premium models are made in Indonesia, while the prestige models are made in Japan. Build quality and finishing is excellent from either of these models. But in regard to the premium line, there have been some complaints that the guitars are not always set up well, and you may need to get the music store to do that for you. So if you're not used to setting up a guitar and you do go to a store to buy a guitar, then you might want to get them to set that up for you. Because what I will say is when this guitar arrived, well, the setup wasn't that great, I have to say. The Gotoh locking tuners here, most of them were loose. The locking nuts here at the nut, they weren't tight, and you should never over tighten these. The actual tremolo bridge was really quite high, and so it had quite a high action. And again, you do have to be careful when you're changing the action. You've got an interlocking screw device inside the larger locking device. You have to make sure you unlock that first before adjusting the bridge. Now, I've got this set up a little bit better now. I still have to do a wee bit more work to it, but it's playing a lot nicer now. It's comfortable to play, typical Ibanez neck and fingerboard. The pickups, from my perspective as a Fender guy, they are quite edgy and aggressive in tone, but it's certainly able to do the task that I need it to do. So what do I dislike? Well, it's not what you would call a high-end, expensive guitar. Nevertheless, it's also not inexpensive. And what I would say, a flimsy gig bag? The guitar deserves better than that. The tremolo system, it works well. I played the guitar for a few hours, and I have to say, I was constantly fine-tuning the guitar. Now, you can find that the tremolo arm can snag against the selector toggle when in the center position. Of course, you can just move the arm out of the way. Looking at the back of the neck, I have to say it does feel a little strange. It's smooth to play, but if you look closely, it's like it's got tiny little holes in it. And you can actually feel this with your fingers. Most unusual. As I said before, this is not a guitar type that I have any interest in, but it does without doubt enable me to achieve certain playing sequences when recording specific music projects. The fact that it's a beautiful instrument to look at and very comfortable to hold and to play, it does give me a sense of enjoyment when playing it. So number 5, conclusion, final thoughts. Well, my first Ibanez guitar back in the late 1970s was an Ibanez Destroyer in a pinky red metallic colour, which I stripped off to try and make it look more like a Carina Gibson Explorer. I never bonded with that guitar at all. And as I returned to guitar playing 40 years later, a good friend of mine loaned me one of his Ibanez guitars. I think it's a Geo, which I found very nice to play. And again, not a guitar I could bond with. And the premium S1070, despite its beautiful design and finish, again, unlikely to change my thinking in regard to these more modern type of guitars. Most of my recording work will be using Fender guitars, and the Taylor Electroacoustic I reviewed last week, those are the mainstay of the instruments that I use. Now, I don't mean this review to be overly negative. Ibanez guitars and others like them are just not my thing, but I appreciate where they can fit into my music arrangements. So I do hope this has been of interest to you, and in the coming couple of weeks I'll be changing direction as I begin my recording journey, because at the end of the day, for me, that's the goal. Please do think about subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications, like and share. It really helps the channel. And do check out my channel playlists. So whether you're a newcomer, an ongoing player, or like me, an old hand returning to guitar playing, I always take time to engage with folks who take time to comment. So until next time, the journey continues. Do take care.